You've ever wondered what your life purpose was? If you've ever dreamt that you could be so much more? what your life purpose was. If you've ever dreamt that you could be so much more, I'd ask you why you're waiting. I'd ask you why you sit. Why don't you get your life first and get out of this bed? Standing strong in your life, standing strong in your love, having strength, having courage, bringing life
Namaste. I see the universal love in you as you see the universal love in me. Namaste. My name is Suzanna Maria EMMANUEL, and it is my delight to answer a question that's been given to me from one of the viewers on YouTube, who's also been reading my transmissions on Facebook that I've posted on Facebook. Spiritual encouragement. What is it and how to strengthen it? Well, when we look at the spiritual essence of encouragement, it means much more than saying, "How are you doing today?" or "Can I do anything for you?" For that in itself is very empty, is it not? It's the words which are empty and they don't mean much. Whereas if you develop a spiritual love for someone and you ask them genuinely, "Is there anything I can do for you?" Or "Let us for a moment forgive everything that's happened and bring in a field of love," that is much more encouraging, isn't it? For that is part of spiritual healing. So there is a difference between spiritual words and healing and empty words and not knowing what to do about it. And spiritual healing can help bring strength into a person energetically to help them overcome their weaknesses or tendencies for weaknesses or anything that they need healing with in that moment in time. So I'm going to explain a little bit about how that works as a spiritual healer and also as a universal light grid programmer, because I've worked with very high magnetic forces from both Sovereign Father EMMANUEL and Caeayaron, and I understand about the layers of the spiritual layers of a person. Everybody has spiritual layers. Now when a person is spiritually awakened, that person has stronger spiritual layers than a person who doesn't understand much about their spiritual beingness or their spiritual side. And that is because spiritual development takes lifetimes. And during those lifetimes, they gain a stronger spiritual desire to understand greater purpose in life. So in this lifetime, it is easier to reach those people because they have a knowing, an ability to hold greater light fields. So when a spiritual healer is working with a person who is spiritually awakened with spiritual encouragement, those fields awaken more and they feel the light, universal light, flowing within them. Now when they've been activated with Caeayaron's universal cosmos codes of life, those cosmos codes of life hold enormous heart frequencies of love. And so universal love people have a strong energetic connection with the whole universe because Caeayaron works with very high sovereign alignments. And that is because they've been activated through my channel, who is the blue star divine love element force, and that's a whole other energy altogether. But I'm returning here back to spiritual encouragement. So when a person has a deep heart connection and understands that it is the spiritual layers which need healing for spiritual development to happen, then that person who can hold that greater field can truly bring or help to bring a spiritual encouragement to people who really need to hear it. So when you are spiritually attuned to higher levels, you're able to assist people to gain stronger fields, because it works a little bit like an electrical power outlet, an inlet, and if you have a stronger force field and you bring that power to another person who has a slightly weaker force field, then you can help that person to be energetically lifted up, so that brings in a stronger spiritual encouragement. And when we talk about spiritual encouragement, it helps people to understand the pathway of forgiveness as well. Now, spiritual forgiveness is a very strong spiritual technique which requires an enormous strength within the heart fields, which again, when you're activated in a universal love, you gain those fields, which is why you can forgive for yourself and forgive for another so much higher, which means in spiritual terms to release it, to release those spiritual pain fields for yourself and for another, or for another, so that you can work through it more, which is spiritually encouraging. So as you can see, the path of spiritual awakening is deep, as it reaches our deeper sense of being and our deeper understanding of who we are. So we develop stronger as people and we flow more in life. So thank you very much for listening to this broadcast, and thank you very much for the person who asked about spiritual encouragement, as I'm sure many will benefit from this. Namaste. My name is Suzanna Maria EMMANUEL. I see the universal love in you as you see the universal love in me. Namaste.